Hello, we are
Hi.
live. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this writing live stream, and it's a very special one because it's celebrating my 1 year on AuthorTube. But also, we were just talking about this. Amelia's 1 year is coming up in January, and Emily just had her 1 year last month in November. So all three of us are kind of celebrating this. And yeah, so we're gonna
birthday party.
Oh, honestly, yes.
Crazy.
So we're gonna do. I'm thinking. Do you guys want to do like a little bit of Q&A before live sprints?
Sure.
Yeah,
I'm good with whatever.
Honestly, like if anyone has any questions, it could be about AuthorTube, but it could just be writing related. Whatever you want to ask. If there are any questions, we can answer them and just chat a little bit. But if not, we can just dive right into writing sprints. But first, I want to welcome the people that are already here. I see Natalie's here, the Written Adventure, Kylie and Evelyn. Oh my gosh, Kylie. I gave away the second half of my work shift for this because I could not make a live stream with all three of my favorite author tubers.
I'm dead. That's so sweet.
Hi,
Kylie.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Sweet.
Thank you for being here.
Oh my gosh. And Emily's here. Hello. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so good to see
Everyone's
everybody.
here.
Everybody's
All
showing
the
up.
homies.
This is gonna be so fun. But okay. First, I suppose, Amelia, would you mind like starting us off, introducing yourself and maybe what you're gonna be working on today?
Well, yes. I am Amelia. I have a YouTube channel. Amelia is writing. I just finished the first draft of my first ever book ever. So right now I am outlining the second draft, which is very fun. And yeah, the first book was a disaster. So this second draft is
Okay, don't say that.
I'm
Promise it was
excited
not.
about the second draft. I think it's gonna be a lot better. So, yes. Also, Bean is here in the back. He's always with me.
He's so special. I love Bean.
The cutest. Oh my goodness.
And how about you, Emily?
Hi, I'm Emily. I am going to be working on Project Spellbound, which, if you don't know, is the project that I've been working on pretty much since the start of November. Yeah, I think I hit 63,000 words in the draft today, which I only really started working on it more seriously in September. So this is not my usual pace. This is a lot faster. So I'm just trying to hold on for dear life, honestly, and see where it takes me. But I'm feeling pretty good. I think I'm going to work on a scene in Act 2 from the Fun and Games. There's a couple things I have to like build out there. I write non-linearly, so I'm like jumping around all the time. But yeah, I think that's what I'm going to be working on tonight, but super excited to be here to write with everybody. I always write better in community, so this is coming at a really, really good time.
Yeah, honestly, the accountability is so helpful. I feel like I always end up writing so much on writing live streams because I don't know, it's like the adrenaline is pumping and I'm like, okay. And then I guess I'll also introduce myself just in case you're new here. My name is Joy. This live stream is on my channel. I also do writing vlogs and that sort of thing, just like Amelia and Emily. And today I'm going to be working on the second draft of Project Phoenix, which is my gothic high fantasy. And okay, so I don't want to jinx myself, but last night I hit 100K in the second draft.
Yeah, you did.
Mind-blowing. And I will say I'm very much kind of underwriting this second draft, at least the second half of the second draft, because I ended up doing so much developmental editing. Like I mean, honestly, the second half of the book, I was looking, like comparing the chapters between the first draft and the second draft. They're nothing alike. It's a completely new book from the midpoint on, basically. So the second half of the second draft is very underwritten just because I was trying to figure out, like get my bearings and figure out kind of what the plot even was. But there is a chance. I'm not going to promise it. I don't want to jinx myself, but there is a chance that I could finish the second draft during this live stream.
What?
I think so.
That would be amazing.
I think so.
My gosh.
So I'm like going to try, but I also don't want to put too much pressure on myself because I feel like if I'm under pressure, I'm going to like fall apart and cry.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but yeah.
Like what? I'm honored that I'm here for you to be doing that.
Likewise.
It's very surreal, but I'm honestly so eager to dive into draft 3 because I don't know, I'm more of a, like, I like to polish, I like pretty prose, but my brain can't put that out in the first try, I think, like most people. So, like, I need to, get my bearings and know, like, the blocking of each scene, the blocking of each chapter, and get the skeleton before I can actually dive in and get into the nitty-gritty and make it nice. So I'm excited for draft 3 because I think there's going to be a lot more of that pretty prose, I guess, if that makes sense. Like it actually being an actual book. So
yeah.
But okay, it does look like we got a few questions. So before we dive into our first writing sprint, maybe we can answer. You know what? I forgot you can actually star the questions. I'm going to do that really fast. For those in the chat, you can star or like favorite questions so that they're like in a separate tab so that I can refer to them and don't have to like scroll all the way back. But let's see. So I'm just starring some of the questions. Okay, this first one, this is actually the latest question, but this is an easy one to answer. What are y'all's beverages for the night? So thank you.
Great question.
I think you noticed that we are all sipping something. It's like, what is that? I made myself a matcha latte. I'm channeling Brielle today, I guess.
I do not get it.
Love it.
I would be up all night.
Listen, caffeine does not affect me, unfortunately, but also I'm a little bit scared for the fact that I'm so desensitized to caffeine. I'm like, am I okay? But yeah.
We are the same. We are the same in that way. Yep.
Like I could seriously have like 2 shots of espresso and take a nap and be so fine.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
No, me too.
I was a barista for like all of college. That was like my thing. I loved being a barista. So you'd think I'd have like a caffeine intolerance, but no. So I'm drinking a Sprite.
Love a Sprite.
You know,
love Sprite.
Normal, just good Sprite. I love when it burns. You know.
I will say.
So that's what we have going on.
Yeah, there's nothing like that, like first sip of a carbonated beverage and just your whole face is on fire.
You like feel it in the back of your mouth too, and you're like,
oh yeah,
this is hitting.
Yep.
Love it. Well, rounding out the group, I have this like random sparkling lemonade. It's like a blackberry lemonade.
Ooh.
I got it we have this bulk food store in Canada. If anybody on the stream is Canadian, slay. It's called Bulk Barn, and they always have like a big drink fridge at the back. And I feel like they have really random drinks. So the last time I was there to get like ingredients for baking cookies, I just went back and grabbed a bunch of different things that I was like, that looks good, and threw them in the cart. So this is one of those. So it's blackberry sparkling lemonade because I love a sparkling beverage.
I know. I need sparkling beverages. Like it's kind of bad. I mean, I still drink water, don't worry, but I definitely drink more sparkling beverages than water. I also got like a Soda Stream machine for Christmas last year.
Oh my gosh, they're the best.
Like, yeah. I mean, I love it, but also it might be a problem because I have so much like carbonated stuff. Also Natalie, wait, how did I never realize you were Canadian?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, fun fact. Part of my lore.
Yes. She's right across the pond from me, actually.
This is true.
Yep. Only Lake Erie is between us.
Lake Erie and then like 4 or 5 hour drive. But yes.
Yeah, but you know.
Close enough. I'll take it.
Yeah, if I like squint and just stare really hard, like, okay, she's over there somewhere.
You see the pointy tower? You're going the right way.
Not me thinking
you lived in Iowa.
Oh, that's hilarious. I love it.
Do I give Iowa energy? What is Iowa energy? I'm curious. But no, I live in Ontario.
I knew a girl from Iowa once. That makes it sound bad, but no, she was a good person. No hate to Iowa.
No hate. We love Iowa.
We love Iowa. Let it be known. Okay. Oh, Kylie, I can't believe you're already coming to the end of your second draft. It feels like yesterday to me that you set your first draft goal. Honestly, frankly, same. Like it's a weird hybrid of I feel like I've been working on this project for so long, but also time has flown by at the same time. Like it's very strange to look back and be like, oh, like I wrote this many words this year. I've been working on it really consistently, and I'm really proud of that. So thank you.
And you should be. It's a huge accomplishment.
Yes.
Both of you guys.
Oh my gosh. I also want to
Yeah,
say
it's like you look back and you're like, what happened? I don't understand what happened.
Truly, truly. Okay, let's answer. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh gosh, I like lost track of all the questions. Listen, I'm so rusty right now. All right, let's just go with Natalie's question for now. What was everyone's first AuthorTube video?
Like the first video we made or the first video we watched?
Oh, that's a good
That's
question. I actually do have an answer to both.
I think I do too. Yeah. Let me go find the first video that I saw.
Yep.
So I can give an exact.
I can start. So I'll start with the first video that I saw. I mean, I was familiar with like Hello Future Me. I wouldn't consider him AuthorTube per se, but he was like my entry point into, hey, I was really thinking about writing a book after taking like a 5-year hiatus from writing. And so I started watching his videos just because I was trying to get a grip on like world building, because he makes a lot of world building stuff and some writing stuff, but he's not like an author tuber in that he like makes writing vlogs and that sort of thing. He's kind of a different category in my mind. But because I was watching his videos, I got recommended one of Lindy Jung's videos on world building.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was my entry point. And I started like binge watching her videos, not the writing vlogs, but like all the craft related stuff. But then I sort of like sidestepped into the writing vlogs because I loved her personality so much. And then she put out a video that was like, oh, different author tubers that I watch. And I was like, wait, there are more of them? And so then I like found Brielle's channel and I found Becca Tobar's channel. And I was just like, okay, that's really cool. So yeah, that's, I think, like my access point to learning about AuthorTube. And then of course I was watching so much AuthorTube and writing so much that eventually I was like, okay, well now like I have to start one. I don't know. I if I consume enough of a certain kind of content, I feel the urge to start making it myself. I think it's like being a creative or something. So yeah, then I started December 17th of last year was when I posted my first video. I sort of started the channel a little bit impulsively. My first video was kind of like mainly an introduction. I'm trying to remember. I just sat down and talked about my writing journey up until that point. And I had started writing my book, like Project Phoenix. I think I was like 30,000 words into the first draft. So it was honestly still pretty early on. But that's when I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to knuckle down and I'm going to start taking this seriously, because I had been sort of like writing very, very slowly over the course of 6 months. And then I was like, okay, this process needs to go by faster. So I was using YouTube partially as like accountability and to find community and that sort of thing. So yeah, I was introducing my writing journey, my project, and I did like a mini writing vlog, but at that point the video was already like 40 minutes long because I had just been yapping the whole time. So I was like, oh, I'll do like one little writing session and talk about it just to like test the waters, just like what the vibe could be. And then I closed out the video. Man, I can't believe that was a year ago. That's crazy.
Another thing that's like you look back and you're like, how?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Truly. Also, if you hear, I don't know if you hear any background noise, but my husband is now wrestling the children downstairs.
Oh my gosh, so cool.
And they're like screaming downstairs. So there's definitely a chance.
That is so cute.
Oh.
Okay. My first ever AuthorTube video was Brielle's A Week in My Life as a Writer After Leaving My Full-Time Job.
Okay.
Iconic.
I love that.
Brielle is iconic. Like, you know.
Absolutely.
So that was my first ever video that I ever watched, and I was like, wait, this is so cool. This is like next level cool.
Mm-hmm.
Never wrote before in my life, but I was so inspired by that. And then I found Becca, and I think I found Emily sometime after that. And then everybody just sort of, I started watching.
Yep.
And one fun fact about me is that for my entire life, I actually hated, like deeply loathed being on camera. I was the type of person who like people would try and take selfies or whatever with me, my friends, and I would like duck out of the camera. I hated being on camera. So very funny that I now do YouTube, but
Yeah.
yeah, I also like did not know how to edit. Never had any experience with using a
Which is
camera.
crazy because you are incredible. Like you found your
As the
talent.
polish is insane,
No,
like
no.
so fast too. You should be
Um,
very proud.
no idea
Mhm.
how to do any graphic design, anything. But I just felt like I had to do this. I just was like,
Mm.
there's no choice. It's the same thing about writing, with writing, is I just felt like I have no choice but to do this. Like, this is what I'm gonna do. So I started, and man, my first videos are a little rough. I can't even bear to watch them anymore. Like, I watch them and I'm like, wow, this is really not my style anymore.
Girl.
But, we grow and evolve. So yeah, my first video, I don't even remember it. My videos blur together, like I can't like distinctually remember them very well. I mean, there's some, I guess, that I remember better than others. But yeah, it was just like a cute little writing vlog.
Mhm. I feel like
So
I remember you like talking about college in the video maybe. And I remember you mentioning your husband. I don't know. Like
I
I
don't
do vaguely
remember.
remember
I
your
was still
first
in
video.
college at that point. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
I started during my last semester of college.
Mhm. Mhm.
So yeah, that's how I started. And now I feel like I am still don't know a lot, but I at least feel better about my editing of my videos and my filming.
Yes.
So that's nice. But I feel like as creative people, you always look back on your older work and you're
Yeah.
always cringe.
Mhm. But it just means that we're
So
constantly improving, you know?
yeah.
Exactly. If you're not
Also,
cringing, you're
thank
not
you
growing.
Yes,
for
exactly.
saying
I love
here.
that.
Thank you for saying that my videos are edited and put together well.
Yes.
They really
They
are,
genuinely
truly.
Very
are.
sweet.
Yeah, I think everyone agrees. They're so good.
Absolutely.
How about you, Emily?
What was my first one? I was trying to think while you guys were talking like, what my first one was that I watched. I watched very like passively for the first year. I think I started watching AuthorTube in like end of 2023, beginning of 2024, because I was looking for something to keep me company during the workday. So if you didn't know, my boyfriend lives in the US, I live in Canada. So I would go and visit him and he would be at work. I would be like working from home. I was remote at the time. And I would always be looking to have something on in the background. And I had kind of, the thought of getting back into writing had occurred to me. I used to write a lot when I was a kid. I wrote like a full novel length piece of writing in like middle school and then buried it away and wrote a bunch of fan fiction and like short stories and things like that, basically up and until I went to university and a little bit in there. But I think you do a lot of other writing in university, so it's hard to balance everything all together. So I kind of walked away from it while I started my career, and I'd been called to start writing again, like maybe the year prior, like 2022. I was just kind of like not feeling super fulfilled. I needed a creative outlet, but I didn't know what shape I wanted it to take. And in 2023, I think like the summertime, I stumbled upon Mick's channel. And I think it was her turning your idea into a plot video, I
Yeah.
want to say, which
Iconic.
is just
Yeah.
still to this day, like it's a rewatch for me. Like there's so much good insight in it. And that kind of demystified the process because I tend to overthink things. Shocker. I'm sure that's news to nobody in this chat or anybody who's watched my channel. But I think I kept trying to find the right way to start writing. And that video gave me permission to just like do it badly. Or maybe it'd be better. Maybe I'd surprise myself. So I was watching her videos for a while, and then I found Becca and I found Brielle and a few others. And then I just kind of like started watching it pretty much all the time. Like anytime there was a new video,
It's a
notification would
rabbit
come
hole.
in and I would like start watching and I would
Yeah.
not surface for such a long time. I lost a lot of sleep, but I was so inspired that it was definitely worth it. And
100%.
I got back into writing seriously in 2024. So as I was kind of watching all of these people write their books, I was like, maybe I could do this. Like I had a channel previously that was like more lifestyle type stuff. And then I just realized I didn't want to be perceived living my life online. So I stopped and decided to kind of come back into it with writing as the main focus, one, as a form of accountability, and two, as a form of building community, because writing is such a solitary activity. I knew that if I was going to stick with it for the long haul, I couldn't go at it alone because it would be way too easy to quit on myself. And I feel so lucky that now, a little over a year later, I've met so many wonderful people, and there's just such a spirit of collaboration and support in this little corner of the internet. And I feel really lucky to have stumbled upon it. And my first video was, I think it was like me preparing for like NaNoWriMo 2024, basically. I like had changed it around, so it was kind of my own challenge. And I'm in the middle of editing all the vlogs for this year's, which are coming. They just take forever. So yeah, I think that was my first video. So kind of a full circle moment to now be finishing out my second season of this challenge. So life comes at you fast, that's for sure.
It really does. It flies by so much. I've been getting so existential lately. like the other night, I literally could not sleep because I was just thinking about the passage of time, and it was freaking me out.
Oh no.
Real.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
No.
Okay. How about I'm trying to think. Let's answer one more question and then do some writing sprints. And then I do want to answer some of these other questions that have come through because there are a lot of really good ones, but I also like want to get to the writing too. So I'm trying to balance it all out. Let's see. Let's answer Evelyn's question. What has been your favorite part about being on AuthorTube? It's a great question.
Oh man.
I feel like the community for me, I kind of said that in my last answer, so maybe I'll start us off. But yeah, I think just like finding other people who spend their time doing the same sorts of things and have the same goals. It's really fun to be able to make progress together and, you know, have friends that are like maybe a couple steps ahead. So like, for example, Joy and Amelia are both in their second or third drafts of this, or I guess going into your third draft, Joy, but second drafts of their projects. And I'm still working on finishing my first draft. So it's super encouraging, I think, to watch them navigate their first drafts and then their second drafts, knowing that, you know, like my time is coming and that we're all kind of on similar trajectories and can relate to the highs and lows of writing, because it can be pretty volatile, I think, sometimes emotionally. But yeah, so I think that the community aspect, the support aspect, and then also just having content as like a second form of creative outlet can be really nice to break up some of those more volatile feelings that come with writing. So like if I'm not having a great writing day, but I want to be creative, that usually ends up being like a video editing day or a day that I'm focused on kind of planning out content, that kind of thing. So you can kind of keep the well replenished without having to do the same thing day in and day out and kind of like exhaust your energy while trying to create it, if that makes sense. So community and accountability and a creative outlet. I think.
Girl, you said it all.
Yeah.
Sorry if I stole everybody else.
No apologies at all. But I'm like nodding along, like, yep.
Emily, you said highs and lows, and every time someone says highs and lows
of high school football, is that what you're gonna say?
Highs and lows of high school football.
Stop myself because I wanted to say it too.
Oh no, that's so bad. I hate that meme. But what are my favorite part? I mean, the community is so special. Finding friends that are not only just like lovely people, but also just love the things that you love, and being able to talk about that with people is really fun. And being able to share your struggles with people is really valuable, because writing is an incredible challenge, and doing it alone, I think, can be really like hard on you, because writing, at least for me, is really emotionally hard, because you're dealing with, you know, the emotions that you've gone through in your life and like explaining those in a story, and that can be heavy sometimes. So being able to talk that through with friends and make friends and yeah, that's just so special and so cool and so meaningful. Like, I think, like, talking about getting existential, last night I literally was thinking about, like, man, why are we here? Like, I don't understand. Like, what's the point of us being alive? Like, for real. And I was like, I think if I had to answer that question, I would say community, like
Mm,
connection with other people.
Yeah.
And I think AuthorTube is truly so, so deeply special.
yeah,
Like, the internet kind of sucks. I think we
yeah.
can all agree on that. But AuthorTube is special.
It feels
And
super unique.
it feels so unique. It feels so, like, such a breath of fresh air. So I love that about it. I also have to say, like, I just love the simple act of editing. I love editing
Mhm.
videos. I find so much, like, again, kind of what Emily was saying is, like, writing a book is such a marathon
Yeah.
and you never really see the light of day. But with making videos, it's like a creative outlet where you can have some sense of, like, immediate gratification. Like, the
Yes.
only like thing you need to do is finish the video, and when it's finished, you're done. you know
Yeah.
so I love that, and I love editing. I
Yep.
like editing is so fun. So yeah, that I love that I found that through AuthorTube too.
I love that so much.
Okay,
Okay.
also Ari is here.
Yeah, I know. I was about to
Hello,
say.
Ari.
Ari,
Hi,
hi,
Ari.
Ari. Love you. Also, not me coming in, and Amelia's like, "Why are we alive?"
Is actually an
Oh,
existentialist
I'm
vibe. If
dead.
anybody missed the memo on that, yeah, why
Yeah.
are we here? We will be
Yes.
answering.
And then Evelyn, I'm loving all these answers so much. Aw. And I also just wanted to say a hi to Annie as well, and to everyone else who's come in since we started chatting. It's good to see
Yes, hello.
everybody. AuthorTube is truly one of the friendliest and coziest places on the internet. I'm convinced, honestly. I agree.
So
I agree.
true.
It's such a great
Same.
spot.
And I have to say, like, everybody is exactly the same
Yeah.
as who we
Yes.
see in videos.
Yeah. There's a
which
lot.
is-
People are genuine, which is really wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd say for me, oh gosh. Oh, I like had it, but then I lost it. Hang on. Okay. I have them again. Let's pray that I hold on to them because I feel like my brain is like everywhere right now. Okay. So of course I echo everything that has been said already. Like those would have been like my initial thoughts, but I'm trying to be creative and different in my answer. The first thing, one thing that I really appreciate about AuthorTube and making videos about my writing would be, so recently, like Alyssa in the books, she said in a writing vlog, I don't know which one because they all blur together because I like watch them every day. She said that like it's hard for her sometimes when she stops filming because she's such a verbal processor that like it helps her, like when she's talking to the camera before she starts to sprint or something, it helps her to order her thoughts and know like really focus and key in on what she's going to be writing next, and also processing what she had just written. And I think I'm the same way. I'm very much a verbal processor, but sometimes like if I'm talking to my husband or something, or like honestly anyone else, like if anyone else is in the room, sometimes I get, I don't know, self-conscious, or like I start overthinking. But when it's just the camera, I can just yap, and then I'm going to edit it later. So like I get to verbally process without the fear of, I don't know, it's not even a fear. It's just, I think when I'm talking to someone, there's automatically a little bit more of a filter. But when it's just me in a room with a camera, I can just talk and allow myself to go down all of the rabbit trails and that sort of thing without being like, oh, like I'm wasting someone's time or overburdening someone. It's like, no, it's just me and the camera, and I get to talk about what I'm writing. And it actually really helps me with my book and with my process for sure. And then the other thing is, I actually do think it's really sweet that we are going to forever have a documentation of our process and our writing journey. Like that is so cool that years from now we'll get to look back. I mean, Lord willing, we're like published authors and we can look back and be like, that was our process for the first draft. Or if we're like, I don't know, writing like a few books from now, say, and we're really struggling and we're like, man, like this is just really tough. Then you can like look back, you have hard evidence, like video evidence of it being hard in the past and you like overcoming it. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah,
That totally makes sense. Yeah.
So I'm really excited, kind of, I guess, for that to come. But yeah, okay. We have more people talking in the chat saying wonderful things. Megan said, as an AuthorTube noob, I've felt so welcomed. Everyone's so cool. Yes. Also,
Welcome.
welcome,
No, it's the
Megan.
best.
And
Welcome.
it's honestly the best. I love it. Let's see. Sarah says, author paralysis is what I like to think of it as when someone asks me what my 100 plus K manuscript is about.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's
We
so
were
relatable.
No, this is
literally
me
talking about that
today.
today. We were talking about that today.
I was trying to write my query letter before I'm even like, the draft is not done. The first draft is not done, but I'm like, I'm gonna write my query letter because I'm procrastinating, trying to like distill my manuscript and my idea for my story into, I think it's like 4 paragraphs really is like the typical structure.
Crazy.
It was so hard. So yeah, if anybody asks me, every thought leaves my head. But if I manage to like distill it, I'm gonna write that down, and then that will be the piece that I carry with me that everybody's like, what's your book about? I'm like, this on this piece of paper here. This is what it's about. Because it's so hard otherwise.
It's so hard. Oh man. Oh, Megan, when I first started posting on TikTok like 4 years ago, I had to hide on the other side of the house and whisper. I'm so embarrassed of my husband hearing me creating content. That's so relatable. That is so relatable. Okay. Yep. Everyone's like, we're shy. Like, I'm literally filming it
No, it feels
for
so
others
cringe.
to perceive me. So why is being perceived in the creation process feel so cringe? Yep.
One thing content will do is make you not give an F.
Yeah, it's honestly,
but it takes
I'm like, that's what I look like today. Okay. I have never looked so ugly in any of my videos as I have in like my last 3.
It's possible for you to feel ugly. Are you kidding?
Like really unpolished. I have like my hair is dirty. I have like the what's it called, the little like under eye masks on. Just I'm like, whatever. F it, we ball. Like here we go.
Yeah, we love a chill girl time.
When I first started, I used to be like sweating and shaking and have like a knot in my stomach when I would film at cafes. And now I don't care at all.
Whatever.
I pull out my camera. Literally in my last video, I filmed myself, not my last video, but the video I'm editing right now. I literally took out my camera. I had my DJI mics. I was full on filming in front of everyone. And I can't use it because the music in the back will get me copyrighted. But it was good. It was good.
Oh man. Okay. It's already, we're like 32 minutes in. I fear we could forever together.
Forever and ever.
Like, I think that we genuinely
really could.
But I do think that it's time for us
to
like actually sprint. So hang on, I need to pull up Focus again. It's been forever since I've used Focus actually. Where do I even go? I think Focus timer. I'm thinking out loud. Okay, it's this one. Wait, my brain is broken. Why is this not working? Okay, Focus timer. And then if I exit out and then wait, why am I struggling with this? I haven't done
this. I've never used
this
before.
months.
I don't know how it works either.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. I had like a heart attack moment where I was like, I was like panicking because I'm like, I don't remember how to use this. Everyone's watching me. I'm like, I look so dumb right now. There it is. Okay. It's fine. No need to panic. Are we good with 30 minutes?
30 sounds excellent.
30 is good.
Perfect. Oh, wait. I love that the words I fear in my mind are synonymous with and we have all adopted the phrase. Genuinely. Yeah.
Alyssa is so funny. Oh my gosh. Sure. I love her videos.
I love her videos. Okay. I will say, sidebar, in my like top, like the YouTube, what's it called? The year-end YouTube summary.
Like YouTube wrapped.
Alyssa was my top person, and I watched over 90 videos of hers.
How did she even make 90 videos? I don't know how she makes so many videos.
She makes so much.
Her pace is next level.
I'm so impressed. Yeah.
That is so crazy.
Yes. But okay, let's go ahead and get started with writing, shall we?
Yes. Sounds good. Good luck, everybody.
Good luck.
Bye.
And begin. That chime
Hello.
thing.
That went so quickly. Oh my goodness.
Oh, it did. Oh my gosh. We got a whole bunch of new friends that joined us in the chat.
Oh my
so
goodness.
Yeah, I
Hi,
saw
everybody.
that.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Yes, Hannah. It truly is. It's truly so soothing. Oh, I hope Alphonse will be joining us as well. Honestly, me too. I don't know where my cat is. Yeah, for those who maybe don't know, Alphonse is one of my 2 cats, but he's the one cat that always shows up on camera because, I don't know, I guess
He's a star.
attention. He is a star. Truly, he's a
I
celebrity.
was honestly just waiting for like a cat tail
Yeah.
to go across the screen.
Literally, I feel like he's like the main character on my channel. It's not even me. Like he always just like walks in front of the camera and I'm like, I can't stop it. Sorry. Okay, so how did the sprint go for you guys?
Good. I'm working on Act 3 right now, so I'm trying to well, initially I was planning on reverse outlining, and I reverse outlined the beat sheet, which was really helpful. But then when I started doing this chapter by chapter outline, I tried to do it in reverse, and then it was really overwhelming and confusing. So I've been like jumping around, and now I'm working on Act 3.
There you go.
So that's what I was doing.
Very good. I definitely
Nice.
I need to do a reverse outline. Like as soon as I'm done with the second draft, that's probably the first thing I'm gonna do is reverse outline.
Yeah, it was really nice for the beat sheet. That I felt like I'm gonna do reverse outline for that moving forward. But the chapter by chapter, I do
It is a
every
little bit
single
overwhelming.
scene in the book. So it's like I can't think that much backwards. I can think like the big points backwards, but the actual scenes, it's like I need it to be one after the other. So
That is fair.
I get that.
What did I get? I got 487 words. So I am clear of 64K now. I'm at 64,163 words in my document.
So excited.
wow.
Which is crazy. But similarly, I did like shout out Ari. Ari and I did like a plotting session. I think it was last week. Time feels fake to me right now. I'm in like a creative sabbatical. I'm like between jobs at the moment, which has been really fun. But I had like no concept of my story. I'm a pantser, like hardcore. I thought I was going to be a plotter. I was wrong. I am a pantser. And I had no idea like the structure of my story. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. And Ari was like, girl, let's talk. And we worked through pretty much like every single major beat in the story. And we now kind of have it figured out. I'll show you guys. I have it on my wall.
Whoa.
Emily, I feel
which
like
has been so helpful.
I love
it.
Your like post-it walls and stuff that you tend to do. Like
my like crazy true crime walls for my story. Thank you.
I love it so
much. It's helpful for me to see it visually, I think, and specifically to see the arc. She sent me a really good like picture of the story structure, and she kind of helped me map my existing beats. And we realized I had plotted it pretty much exactly following one of those structures without actually having the structure in front of me. We do love the murder board, correct? And now I've just been writing. I was actually just filming a clip for my video at the end of that sprint there. But basically, I feel like I get to have fun pantsing the connective tissue now that like the bones are there. Because before pantsing can be like really hard when you feel like you have to make all these like major decisions. And if you pants too close to the sun, like I like to do, you'll end up contradicting yourself very quickly. So I think having these like the bones of the story has been fun. Yes, exactly. And I need guardrails. That's for sure.
Need some containment.
Yes, I need some containment for my chaos, because otherwise it's just a little bit too sporadic, and it's hard to focus and it's hard to finish. So that was really kind of a game changer. So I was just working on a scene in Act 2, which is like what point is this? Like I guess it's pre-plot point 3, but a little farther after plot point 2. So it's kind of like in the middle while we're ramping up to the like crisis moment. And that's been fun. And it's been a lot of world building, which has been a lot of experimentation and a lot of me being just like, yep, cool. We're just going to do this. This is what this means now. And I'm just trying to keep like a list of terms that I define randomly in line so that I can add it back into like my story Bible later, which is kind of like my main doc where all of the world building stuff lives. If there's character arcs and stuff, I have like a section for that. There's like geography stuff. I made a map recently, which was really fun. It's like taped up on my wall. I just love a procrastination side project that I can convince myself is helping the project along.
Honestly, though, I think that it does help the project, especially since you are such a visual person. Like, I'm sure it really helps you to like have that map right in front of you so you know where everything is, you know?
It has been so nice. Here, I'll turn the camera again and show you guys.
Yes.
But this is my
dude.
I love it.
This is my map. I made it in Canva.
We love Canva.
Yes. I went to Staples and I spent too much money on having it printed. I needed to get my passport stuff done, so I needed to print forms. And I was like, oh yeah, just print my map as well.
So
while I'm here. So yeah.
I love it. Okay, for me, let's see how many words. I got 627 words during that sprint.
Oh wow. Okay.
Nice. Okay, I will preface with like that was not clean prose at all. Basically what I'm doing, okay. Honestly, so I'm nearing the end of the second draft, and shout out to Craft and Crash Out podcast with Mick and Ari.
Yes.
I was listening to their most recent episode today, and it was such a good episode. First of all, if you haven't like watched their podcast, please go watch their podcast. It's so good. But anyway, they were talking a lot about scene structure and also using the language. Like they were kind of bringing in the language of theater, like the theater space, which I relate to because I was a theater kid. Like I did theater in high school, and they were talking about.
I didn't know this about you.
And tying it in. Oh yeah. I was not like the foremost theater kid. Like there were those that were like way more into it than I was, but I was very involved. Like we had theater classes, and I took all 4 years of it, and then did like most of the plays and musicals and stuff like that.
Wow.
I was a stage manager for Flowers for Algernon, and yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So when Mick was talking about stage managers in the podcast, I was like, yes, I've been there. I know exactly what that's like. But anyway,
such a good comparison.
I digress. That was a whole diversion. But yeah, so they were talking about like blocking scenes and how sometimes it feels like, especially when you're drafting, it feels like you're just writing out the stage directions. But in reality, if you bring it back to theater, I mean, there's different iterations of theater. Like when you are like acting out a play, like the director will first start by, you have the actors, you have your scripts, and you're going through your lines, and the director is basically doing blocking and kind of showing everyone, okay, this is where you're moving. And then the stage manager is noting where everyone's supposed to go when, and that sort of thing. So like, that's like the first round where you're going through the whole play or musical over the course of weeks, and you're like getting all these pieces, and then you kind of do it again, like with your scripts memorized, and then you have like your dress rehearsals where like everyone's actually like fully in costume, you're putting all the pieces together, and like refining things. So I was like, okay, yeah, it gets cleaner and cleaner with each iteration, but that's kind of how drafting feels. But okay, applying it to what I was just doing, that's basically what I was doing just now with the ending sequence of like the climax and resolution, where I was just kind of brain dumping some of the internality that my characters are experiencing, but also putting it like in order where it's like, okay, these are like the stage directions and what's happening. And then here's a brain dump of like what my characters are probably feeling right now, and a brain dump of like some of the setting stuff. So I'm just like throwing up all of the pieces so that they're all visible, because if you don't know, I'm completely rewriting the ending, like basically from midpoint on. So this is all new material I'm having to come up with. So I'm just trying to get it all on the page, and that's what I've been doing, and figuring out the sequence of events, if that makes sense too, where I'm like, okay, I know it needs to happen, but there's two different POVs, and I'm like, okay, who should be experiencing what, what information should we be getting from like which POV, like what makes the most sense. And yeah, they're like, the way it's going is like Vera is in one place and Cecil's in one place, and during like the climax they're going to like be arriving in the same location basically, So I'm like, okay, what's the timing like and logistically too? So I'm like trying to juggle a lot of pieces, but I can't do it in my head and it can't come out clean the first time. So right now I'm just throwing everything on the page so that I can actually go back through and tidy it up. So
My
that
first
was
draft was, yeah, my first draft was dual POV, and they had intertwined stories. So it was really difficult to have to, especially at the end, to be like, okay, how is this all going to come together? And now I'm only writing Animus, so I do have to come up with a lot of new plot and change a lot of the story, but it's such a relief to only have one character. Oh my gosh.
It's so much more simple.
It's so much more
100%.
simple. It's so much easier, honestly.
Okay, we have a few things that were said in the chat that I want to highlight really fast. So Bumble Bear, writing is hard because one second you'll outline and feel like everything is great, and the next second you're crashing out because nothing makes sense anymore.
Yep.
Yep, that happens
pretty
to me
much.
frequently. I feel
like
like
a
it's like a
cycle.
roller coaster. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I'm like, am I okay? Because yesterday I was having a great time, and then I'll have one sprint that didn't go well, and then I'm crashing out. I'm like, what's going on?
And the cycle repeats. It's almost like for any of us who, I don't know how to say that, for the girlies, it's like when you are about to be on your period and you have like a set of symptoms that come up that are the same time every single month, and you're still like, oh my gosh, I don't know why, like everything sucks, everything's terrible.
Literally.
And then you're like, oh yeah, it's that thing that always happens. Okay, cool. Like this in context now makes sense. Would you think that I'd remember it the next time around? No. Writing is the
We
same.
never learn for some reason.
Never
I don't know why. And then Megan said, I only got 100 words. I tried something, decided it didn't work, and I think I found my footing now. Honestly, that's a
progress.
lot. Yeah, same. Kept writing, then erasing, then rewriting. One of those sessions.
That's me. That's me all the time. I'm too like, this has to be perfect the first time I do it, every single time. And so I always do that. I will write a sentence, be like, oh, this is horrible. And then rewrite it, and then, oh, this is horrible. And then eventually I'll write it like 6 times, and then I'll be like, man, the first sentence was the best one. I forgot it.
Yep. Okay, writerly Annie. Okay, I'm at this stage where nothing makes sense anymore. Like, how do you write a book? Again, relatable.
A great question.
I've been doing this for such a long time now. You would think that I would kind of know, but apparently not. Alyssa is here.
Hello. Hello.
Girl, if you haven't been here for long, we were talking about you a lot. Nothing bad. Everything good. But
all good things.
You might want to you can go back and listen if you want. Can you confirm you never actually know what's going on in the book?
Never.
So good. So good. I know that. Yes. Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow. Okay, Kira.
Look at that. That's a lot of words.
That is a chunk.
That's
fantastic.
That's a good amount.
Honestly, though, I completely relate. And yes, Amelia is hilarious.
True.
Oh my god.
Cut the cameras.
Yep. TBH, I haven't had any crash outs about the book yet. It's like I'm refusing to let my brain go there. All the crash outs are locked in the basement waiting for draft 2. Honestly, I will say that's so true. Like, I feel like during the first draft of Project Phoenix, I was like coasting along in like ignorant bliss, you know? And just like, oh, you know, everything is fine. And then, Alyssa's going back. Very good.
Oh my gosh, that's
Alyssa, bring back the daily vlogs. I'm lost without.
Let her rest. No,
literally.
I know.
I demand more content for my daily vlogs, but also you have earned a rest. I think
my comfort YouTuber.
Yeah.
I often have days where I just feel like the book will never come together, but then I have to convince myself that I think this every single draft. Yep.
100%.
Endless.
I relate to the like not crashing out right now though, or trying as much as you can not to crash out. I have walked myself back from the ledge like 3 times this week. Just being like, you know what? Just not today. Today isn't the day. I'll try again tomorrow and see how I feel. And weirdly, that has been very helpful. I also keep telling myself I love mess. So like if I make a mess, great. There's more.
We love
to play with.
Good mindset.
It's working for
Alyssa,
now.
you are
Check in next
truly,
week. We will see.
Alyssa, you
Mhm.
are you are our bravest soldier. You are our strongest soldier.
Truly,
How do
truly.
you make a vlog every day? Like,
I'm in
what are
awe.
you made of? Because
I know, and you're like, it takes me like 40 minutes to edit a vlog.
I'm like,
I was
I'm
like,
sorry, what?
what?
it takes me
It
one
takes me like
full-time
30
work
hours
week
to
to
edit a
Wow.
video.
That's incredible. It's incredible. Oh my gosh. Yep, I love it. Okay, let's
So
go
funny.
ahead and answer. Sorry, I just heard my daughter whispering and I was like, is she coming up here? But no, she's just being sweet. Okay. Yeah, Alyssa and Taylor are saying yes.
Yes, also Taylor.
And
Like,
Becca has been doing the daily vlogs right now too. I'm
Mhm.
like,
yes,
girl,
also
it's
Becca.
incredible.
We must not forget about Vlogmas. Because
Mm.
that's
Keeping us
also
fed, honestly.
Yeah.
Truly. Okay, let's answer another few questions because we still like had some incredible ones. Let's start with Megan's. How have your feelings about writing and content creation changed over the last year? That's honestly such a good question.
That is a really good question. I can start things off if we want. I think my feelings about writing have stayed pretty much the same, where there are those like ebbs and flows, but it's been such a privilege to watch myself get better at something.
Yes.
And I think that's like one of the
Yeah.
major benefits with documenting, like Joy said when she was talking about her favorite parts about being on AuthorTube. I think, yeah, having that proof, that like indisputable proof that yes, you're doing this and you're getting better and you're improving is so valuable to have to like look back on. But also for me, I'm working on like my second project. So my first project that I started my channel with, Project Stargazer, she's currently on ice. She's just taking a little bit of a break, little vacation, because it's a really, really ambitious project and I want to do it right. And I didn't feel like I was there yet, skill-wise, to be able to execute in a way that I wanted. Project Spellbound is a much, I don't want to say it's a smaller project or like an easier project, but it is like a second world fantasy as opposed to a multi-world portal fantasy with multiple POVs. Spellbound has 2, and they're all like, it's set within a very specific stretch of time, like they're in university, so it follows their like university careers. So there's a lot more, I think, that allows me to like lean into my strengths, which I think on a line level, that's one of my major strengths as a writer is pretty polished prose. So I'm hoping I can get away with like fewer full scale draft overhauls. We'll see. Oh, thank you.
Just had to say that.
That's so nice. But I feel like that is where I notice my feelings kind of changing, where I feel a lot more motivated and inspired than I did before, even though it's hard. And in some ways, I think it's harder. Documenting your writing process is like very vulnerable, and putting it on the internet is hard to do. But I think in a lot of ways, it forces me to have to be confident in what I'm doing because I'm doing it in like a public forum, if that makes sense. And I think with content creation, I will often have weeks where I'll put my whole focus on writing and then other weeks where I put like my whole focus on content creation. It's hard to like hold both equally all the time. So something always has to kind of drop. But I have been loving how much content creation has desensitized me to what my face looks like. I don't care anymore. Like this is what my face looks like. And I don't have any sort of like strongly positive or negative feelings about it. I'm just like neutral acceptance. That's me.
Neutrality is the key.
Yes, which is obviously hard, but it happened a lot faster than I thought. And then with content creation, I think we all go through like ebbs and flows too, and like our creativity of the types of videos that we're doing. If we're doing a lot of like sit down chatty videos, crashing out over the lighting being bad is like a key fixture in my life. Especially right now with daylight savings ruining everything.
Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible.
So it
hard
fluctuates.
to tell in the winter.
It definitely fluctuates. But overall, I think like we're trending in a positive direction. Obviously, sometimes it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But on the whole, I think they both having both of those things kind of coexisting forces you to improve, whether you're improving your content creation, your editing abilities, your framing of a shot, etc., or like prose, line level work, storytelling abilities, etc. Like you're always kind of upskilling, but you're doing it in a way that feels like fun and low stakes. And I don't know, I feel like that's that's me. That was a very convoluted answer. I'm a very convoluted
Not
person.
even.
So.
No, it was so good,
That was
though.
a good answer.
It's very insightful.
thank
For
you.
me, let me think. I mean, one common theme throughout the entirety of my whole life is that I've always struggled really hard with perfectionism and feeling like I'm not worthy of doing anything if I'm not like immediately absolutely the best at it. And
Real.
yeah, like if I can't do it right away, I'm gonna give up. And because it was always like I'd rather give up than be bad at it. I'd rather, than be able to like face the fact that I'm maybe not perfect at something. But I think the most important thing that writing has taught me is that, especially with writing, it's not like perfection is just not something you could ever achieve anyway. It's just not a real thing. And so like having that goal of always feeling like I need to write everything perfect, I need to have a perfect plot, I need to have perfect characters, it's like that's if my goal is perfection, then I'm always going to miss the mark. And so writing has been really freeing because I feel like with a lot of skills, you get to a point where you're like, okay, I'm pretty good at this. I played flute my whole life. Okay, here's some of my
Wait,
lore.
lore drop?
I
did not know
Me
that.
too. Not my whole life, but like for middle school.
I was
Oh my gosh, I had no
a
idea.
flute player in my city's orchestra. Like I played flute my whole life.
Oh, slay.
Incredible.
Okay.
Look at that.
And flute is something that you can get like good at, and you can be like, okay, I'm gonna get better, but like I'm pretty good at this now. But writing is so much more personal, and it's so much more almost like spiritual level.
Yeah.
That it's not really about that for me. It's not really about this. I mean, it is about the skill for sure. It is about getting better, and I do want to be a better writer, but it's also more of a deep experience than that. So it's been really freeing, and it's like my favorite thing ever is writing. And yeah, the other thing too that both content and writing has taught me is that like the most important thing is to just be yourself authentically and like create the things that you care about, because that matters more than being so concerned about appeasing other people. When I first started writing, I was really worried about the marketability of my project and the would it be TikTokable? Like, would it be a TikTok book? Does it have all the tropes that everyone wants? But I always wanted to write a space opera. Like, Dune is my favorite book of all time. Like, Dune is the masterpiece of all masterpieces for me. But I felt like as a woman, I couldn't really do that. I couldn't really do space opera. I couldn't really do sci-fi. I felt like I wasn't maybe really welcome in that space. But then, like, I tried to write fantasy.
Oh, you are.
This isn't me. I'm just gonna do what I want to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, same thing with content. Like, it's so important that you just be yourself and like do your thing and do your own creative thing. So yeah.
I love that so much. Okay, I love it. Okay. Man, this is such a reflective question. I think for me with writing, so 2024 was like the year that I rediscovered writing, and 2025 was making it a habit and a practice. And I really incorporated it into my daily life and my rhythm, which I'm so proud of. And honestly, like, it has now become a thing that previously, I mean, for 5 years, I felt a lot of guilt surrounding the fact that like I wasn't writing. Because if you don't know, I majored in creative writing. I've loved writing since I was a kid, but I graduated in 2020, right around COVID, and I also like had my first kid at the end of 2020. And that transition out of college was really, really hard for me. So like kind of for 5 years, it kind of felt like I lost myself. It wasn't even 5 years, more like 4-ish years, I guess, technically, because in March of 2024 is when I started Project Phoenix, although it was very on and off for like the first 6 months. But yeah, 2025 was me not feeling guilty anymore. It was like me finally taking ownership of, okay, I'm a writer again, like actually identifying with that term again, if that makes sense. Because
Yeah.
I felt so down on myself that I wasn't writing, even though I knew that that was kind of my calling and my passion. And I was like, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But I would feel like so much anxiety surrounding that because I was overwhelmed and didn't know how to navigate getting back into writing, especially when I was in such an emotional rut. So honestly, 2025 has been so good for me over the course of this year to get into that writing habit again. And I'll probably make a video talking about like my writing for this year and like what I achieved this year, but also looking to next year, like what my goals are. But as a sneak peek, I started using TrackBear this year as well, like the whole year. And
Love TrackBear.
I've written over 170,000 words this year.
Crazy.
Insane. That's so
wild.
good.
Dude,
yeah. So like
wild.
that is just evidence of, okay, it has become a consistent part of my life and a consistent habit. And I'm so proud of that. And I never want that to change from this point on. Like, I know that there's going to be like cycles and rhythms and, you know, there will be things that come up to where maybe I need to take another hiatus, but like, I don't want writing to ever go by the wayside again. Like, I want this to be like one of my main focuses in life, you know? So I'm really excited about that. Regarding content creation, I mean, I feel like the beginning of the year, I was like super excited about content creation, but then like I got a little bit burnt out and I got super busy over the summer and like the first part of fall. And now I'm kind of getting excited about content creation again. So I feel like it ebbs and flows a lot. I think I just wrestle a lot because I just don't have a lot of time to spare. And I hate having to like feel like I have to choose between writing and content creation, if that makes sense. And like where I love making content, sometimes I do get a little bit overwhelmed where I'm like, okay, I don't know what video I want to make. I don't have the time to do this. Like, I'm not in the mood to do this. And then I get a little bit like panicked, like, okay, like I haven't posted anything in a month. Crap. I haven't had time to do that, you know? So like sometimes it is a little bit overwhelming, but I don't regret like having an AuthorTube channel just because, like the community is incredible and all the other things that I already named before that we already kind of spoke about, like our favorite things about AuthorTube. So I think that the trade-off, like it's all worth it, but there is definitely that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, Megan, girl, I get this completely. Grad school completely ruined my brain for reading. I'm hoping 2026 is the year I finally start reading again. Honestly, like that also happened to me. Yep. And my avenue back into writing was reading and like getting back into reading again, finally, after a few years of like being so burnt out. Okay, Kara, my wallet is so ready for y'all's books.
Oh my god, that's really nice.
So sweet. Thank you.
Okay, seriously. Okay, everyone in the chat, I'm like catching up on it. You guys are amazing. So insightful. Writing is really just putting your experiences and your ideas onto the page. Essentially, you are the ink, and that is deeply personal no matter what you write. Okay, bars.
That's beautiful. Bars. Yeah.
I feel like grad school broke the perfectionism out of me. Interesting. Yeah. Critique classes were brutal, but also beyond helpful. Criticism isn't a personal attack. It's a portal to better writing. That's very true. But also like it's a hard lesson to learn for sure.
Grad school broke me. I mean, it was, I was never as good. Like, I don't know. I feel like grad school for me was like the peak of my writing ability and yet the absolute valley of my confidence in my ability to do anything. And that's such a weird spot to be in.
So weird.
It's so strange, but it truly, like, especially if there's a critique component, like it seems like Megan's had a critique component. Like we did seminar presentations and it was a lot of questions where you're asking stuff, trying to pick apart each other's arguments. My degree is in English literature. And yeah, it was tough. It was very, very tough. And I think getting back into writing has been really healing to come to a place where I recognize that even if I don't have an answer to something, or like if there is a hole in something that I'm working on, it's not over till it's over, right? Like nothing is published yet. There's still so many more opportunities to get it right. And we'll get better every day. So love that.
Okay, and then we have some more questions. They're all really good, so I want to get to them. But do we want to try to do like a rapid fire a little bit?
Yeah, let's do rapid fire. We do love a tangent collectively.
I know. All of us are yappers.
Honestly, I'm sitting here like
talk
I would be
forever.
fine to just answer questions. I'm like, I just love talking.
Yeah,
Like, this
yeah.
is so fun.
So real. I just love talking. Same.
Yeah, it's so fun. Okay, let's try to do rapid fire just so that we can get to them all and then do one more sprint and then we can be done.
Sounds
maybe.
good.
Because I want to make sure we don't like go for way too long, but also like I love chatting.
No, I'm having so much fun. This is the best.
Yeah, it's so good. Okay. So let's begin rapid fire. Okay, favorite type of prose? Flowery, straightforward, some kind of mix.
I love straightforward, like no messing around. No, like, but the problem is that I don't actually write like that. And so I'm trying to get better at that. Like one of my favorite writers is Pierce Brown.
I was about to say, I was like Pierce Brown.
Love his writing.
Yeah.
I love how he's just so straight to the point. So that's something I want to get better at, is writing more like that.
Yes, yes, I love it.
That is fair. I feel like I am some kind of a mix, but leaning more flowery or more literary. And I don't know if that's just, I love a compound complex sentence. What can I say?
Yeah.
They hate it. But I also do recognize that the way that you choose to write, like the type of prose that you use, will vary depending on what's happening in the scene. Like if you're trying to depict action, you want to shorten things up, make it punchier and like more of like a staccato style. But then if you are doing a lot of interiority, like it's okay to go off on a tangent a little bit and really feel around in the dark until you've kind of figured it out. And those passages tend to be really flowery. But I would say like by and large, for the most part, and I mean, both of you guys have read parts of my work. So I feel like I'm like, yeah, straightforward, but leading more flowery, pardon me, literary, etc.
Yeah.
Very literary, I would say.
So good.
Very sophisticated.
Oh yes. 100%.
So nice.
Especially like the dark academia, like so good. Okay. I would say for me, I probably lean also a mix. This might be a bit of a non-answer, but the prose just has to be fitting for the story that I'm reading. Like if it fits and it makes sense, and if the voice is really strong, I really like that a lot. It doesn't have to be, but a strong voice I enjoy. Trying to think. I mean, Alex E. Harrow, I think, has beautiful prose. That's just like one.
Love her prose.
Yeah, head. I love her prose. I think she's a good mix of. She uses a lot of like unique language, if that makes sense, like unique metaphors and stuff like that. So yes, there's that. Okay, rapid fire. All right, so there's that one. Okay, next one. Is there a trait or habit that you've taken from yourself and given to one of your characters?
Yes.
Go on.
As I mentioned, I used to hate being on camera. I just used to hate everything about the appearance. And one thing about Animus at the beginning of the book is that she really evades mirrors. She really it really is a point that she does not look at herself in mirrors. She's very insecure and second guessing of herself. So that's me.
I love it.
Or at least that's what I used to be like. I'm not so much like that anymore.
But it's something that you know and can write about.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Do you want to go next, Joy?
Sure. I'm trying to think. I feel like both Cecil and Vera have like a little bit maybe too much like nice person energy, which I think I might give just nice person energy. like I have a hard time making them mean. But I feel like they maybe need to be mean at some point. So I don't know. Just to make them a little bit more distinct. Although I will say Cecil in particular, if anyone is familiar with the Enneagram, I'm an Enneagram 9. Cecil's definitely also an Enneagram 9, which basically means like they're the peacemaker, but they're prone to, I guess, like inaction, and like they tend to like Cecil's character arc is basically that he like is afraid to know himself and like look deeper into himself and like confront the truth, and so he's kind of trapped in inaction, if that makes sense. And so really he needs to like burst out of that, wake up, and fully lean into everything that he's sort of like numbed himself out to. And I've been there myself, to where like I would kind of numb myself out to the world and was just like existing, and like everything was fine and pleasant. But in reality, like things weren't, the narrator came in and said things were not fine and
Things were not fine and pleasant.
but like, yeah, to cope, it was just like, okay, yeah, like just not acknowledging it. So I think that's something that Cecil maybe tends towards, where I'm like, that definitely came from me.
Yeah. I feel like every character that I write has either qualities of my own or of like people that I know and love, or know and dislike, depending on who it is. But I think for me, like the character that I think I have most in common with is Isabel, Stargazer's protagonist. She is kind of, honestly, she's kind of me like a couple of years ago. If I was in a fantasy setting and I had a big prophecy on my back that I needed to make happen, which thankfully I don't, at least not to my knowledge.
You don't have
I don't. At least not to my knowledge. But I think she is really struggling with figuring out what the right path is and feeling torn between what she should do versus what she actually wants to do, and the tension that naturally exists there. So I think for me, after I graduated, when I was like torn between going into corporate or like doing something more creative, and ultimately ended up going into corporate, I think that desire to be creative and to have some sort of creative practice always existed. And so for Isabel, it's this tension between being a part of and moving up within the ranks of like the guild that she's grown up in her whole life, or leaving basically to pursue a life that's entirely her own, which presents its own challenges, obviously, because it's, leaving behind a way of life that the only way of life that you've ever known, in search of something that's like maybe better. And I think for her, navigating a lot of that stuff, she does it in a very messy way, which I think I also did it in a very messy way. So it's really cool to be able to draw on experiences from like a past version of myself to, give to a character and kind of like have them work through. And I think Eleanor and Calder, my main characters in Spellbound, are both just like, and I'm going to swear here for a second, so sorry. They're both just like cocky little assholes in like a different ways. And I think there's like bits of me and like my humor in the way that this manifests in both of those characters that like, I maybe wouldn't say it like that, but like I could craft that sentence in my head, and
I love them.
A bolder version of me might say that. So it's been fun, I think, to kind of use it as like a creative arena. So yeah, I feel like
so fun.
The quick wit is something that I really love in books that I read, and so it's something that like I try to create, and I try to, as much as I can, make people laugh. And so I think doing that with my characters as well is really fun and a good way to try out a couple of different personalities.
I love it. And I also, I'm loving all of like the feedback we're getting in the chat too, where people are like talking about their own experiences. So like know that like I'm reading all of them.
I'm literally like reading them as they come
but
in.
like since I'm like trying to go rapid fire, I'm like, oh, I can't like read through all of them. But trust me, I love them all. Okay. So do continue responding to like the questions for yourself. Like I honestly love it when people do that. Okay, next question. As someone who joined AuthorTube this year, I would love to know any tips and advice you have.
Incredible. It's so fun. Truly just be yourself. I think that's like, it's the silliest advice, but it's also the most true advice. This is a really authentic, I think, area of the internet. So I would say like, don't put too much pressure on yourself either to like show up in a way that is very like showy if that's not how you naturally are. Because like your people will find you. Create content that you feel good about and don't feel like it has to be perfect and polished. You'll find your way as you progress. But welcome to AuthorTube.
Yes, welcome.
I would say, I mean, you don't have to know right away, but I think it is important to decide what it is that you want out of YouTube and AuthorTube. For me, my primary goal is self-employment. And so I have an approach to YouTube, I think, that would be different than if I was maybe just doing it as like only really a creative hobby. And I think it's important to decide that because you can like set goals that are actually relevant to what you want to do. And again, you don't have to know right away. I mean, you can figure it out as maybe you start doing it and you're like, oh man, I love this. I want this to be my job. And then you can like reevaluate. I would also say always put your writing first. Like it can really like a flip of a switch become that you care more about YouTube than you do about your book. And I think it's because we're human and like YouTube is like an instant gratification and it's
all the
like there's
validation.
numbers
Mhm.
and there's money involved. And so it can be like really hard to have a healthy balance. And that's also like depending on your approach for sure. But like my thing is like I always put my book first. So if that means not getting footage, then that means not getting footage, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, there's so many things that could be said, but the first thing that comes to mind is to just be really cautious of burnout. Like, make sure you're taking care of yourself because, I mean, content creation, it can take a lot out of you, especially if you are being really perfectionistic with it. And, you know, if it, like, I understand, like, if it's something where like you really, really want this to succeed, but like know that your value does not come from your success on YouTube. Like, you're a human being, you are inherently valuable. Like, the external validation that you get, like that does not define you. And so just because like you get like a 10 of 10 on YouTube where like your latest video like flopped, like that does not define you.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, it does not. And that's so important to cling to that. And if you're doing any sort of like putting yourself out on the internet and content creation, like, no, like really cling to you are valuable in and of yourself, you know, and also take care of yourself. Don't let yourself get burnt out. So, okay. That was very good. Very good. Okay. Let's see. Next one. Continued rapid fire. Okay. Jade asked, when do you plan to query if going TradPub? I think, are all of us interested in TradPub?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. You want to go first?
I'm just gonna say I want to be a published author, but I have other plans for my life in the near future. So probably not for many years. But I would like to do that eventually.
Yeah. Oh man, I feel like I don't want to like put a deadline on myself because honestly, like, I want Project Phoenix, because this would be my hopeful debut, but I want it to be like as good as it can possibly be. And I don't want to put like a huge pressure on the timing of it because like I don't want to disappoint myself if I fail to meet my own expectations. But on the other hand, like, you know, sometimes a deadline's helpful so that you're actually continuing to keep up with it. But at this point, I'm not really, I've developed my writing habit so much that I'm not really concerned that I will like stop writing. So let's see. I'm just about to finish the second draft. And I think it will take me at least a year to get it polished enough to query, I would think. I don't know, but I would say I could see myself, like, maybe I could start querying like the beginning of 2027. Maybe.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Maybe sooner, but that would be insane if it were sooner. Like, that's maybe delulu of me. And the other thing is, I don't even know, like, by the time I actually completely polish Project Phoenix, depending on the word count of it, because I mean, I don't know. And I'm also planning on being a duology, which I feel like is harder to query that because you have to be like, oh, it's a standalone with like
series potential.
But I'm like, but the story's not done yet, so I don't want to like say that and then not get them both published. I would be so mad. So yeah, there's definitely a chance where like I finish Project Phoenix and I'm like, you know what? I'm either gonna indie publish it or I'm gonna like let it sit for a while on the back burner and bring up Project Sol, which I do think might be a little bit more marketable. And it will be shorter. It'll be a standalone, hopefully. I mean, Lord knows. I don't know. And so like maybe that one I would finish and then query. Like that might end up being my true debut. just because of like the nature of marketability and which project can actually get the editor too eventually, but the agent first and foremost. So the question is, I don't know, but like that was way too long-winded for rapid fire.
No. I feel like that makes so much sense. I also so relate. Like, I think Stargazer is the first in a planned duology, potentially a trilogy, if there's enough plot stuff that doesn't get resolved in 2 books. But yeah, I don't know that I'm gonna query that one first. Like, I think Spellbound, Project Spellbound is gonna be the one that I query first. And I wrote the rough draft of my query letter today. But that said, I think I probably will not query until at the absolute earliest, assuming that my prose is as clean as early as I think it might be. Best case scenario, I think I start querying in the fall. Realistically, probably like winter, spring 2027. But it's like coming out fast and furious, and it's like on a line level in comparison to Stargazer. Like, Spellbound is clean and it's pretty tight, which is a surprise to me, which is cool. So I hope, I would love to just query in 2027. I would love to query like while I'm 30. I am 29 right now. I'll turn 30 next summer. So if I can be querying and get a book deal like before I turn 31, that would be like insanity. But I would say that would be like the dream right now, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully soon, before I'm dead. That's my final answer. Before I'm dead.
Honestly, frankly, and talk about existential. We're getting
and we're going all the way back to the start. Incredible.
Yeah. All right. I'm just continuing to go down the line here. Sarah Zell writes, do you think one needs to be on AuthorTube to break into the AuthorTube community? I'm on the cusp because I'm not sure if I have the talent or time for videos, but I love the community I see here.
I'll go first. I think I would say this. It's hard to be a viewer and to see video. Like, when I first started watching AuthorTube, it felt like the videos and the writing were one and the same. But when you become a content creator, the thing you realize is like the video and the writing are 2 completely separate, different bubbles of activity that you're doing. Like, you basically have 2 like hobbies, that you're doing. And honestly, content creation I don't think is for everyone, like, especially when it has to do with your writing. Like, it's the internet and people are going to have things to say about you and your writing and your process and stuff, and if that's not something that you want, then I don't think you have to put yourself on a platform or have a platform, whatever, to be a part of the community at large. And also, like, it's a whole other thing, it's like you have to invest in a lot of time and sometimes equipment and stuff. And I don't think you need to do that to be a part of the community at all. It's also like a whole different thing. So I don't think so. I think it's about like making an effort to reach out to people and try and communicate and like reach out and be there for other people. And like, I'll say, as a creator, like, I notice the same people. Like, I know who you are commenting on my videos. Like, I know, I recognize you, and that's like the community, So yeah, no, I don't think so. And content creation is a whole thing. So, but if you love it and that's something you want to do, then it's lovely and it's so fun. It just depends on your priorities.
Yeah. Honestly,
that's a great answer.
That is a great answer. I will say it's probably easier to like break into the community if you have a space where you can actually talk. And that's where like there are multiple Discords. Like, I think LDJ Writes has a Discord, and I don't know if Ren is still in the chat, but there's also like the Storyteller Society Discord. What just happened?
Everyone here.
Happy birthday to
I guess
Joyce Jenner.
happy anniversary. But it is like easier to break into the community if you have a space where you can like talk to people beyond just like commenting. Honestly, writing live streams are great for it too, just because like there is some back and forth that can happen in the chat. But it's like you need a space where you can connect somehow. That could also be like Instagram DMs, you know, if you have an Instagram, you don't necessarily have to be extremely active on the Instagram, although it is nice to like maybe have like a few introductory posts so that people like have a face to the name, you know, because like I'm less likely to respond if it's just like a person with no posts and not a picture of themselves, and like I'm like, who is this person, you know?
Yeah.
So like it's nice for people to like have some familiarity with you or somehow, but like whatever that is, I don't think that YouTube, like being on YouTube and creating YouTube videos is like the only way to participate in like the online writing space and community and AuthorTube. Because again, yeah, there are some discords, and again, like I don't know if you're a part of that one or not. Storyteller Society is quite large now. It's
huge,
incredible how much it's grown. But that one I think is invite only, so you would have to maybe like DM CK Jensen on Instagram, I believe is their handle.
Yeah.
I could be completely wrong, but if anyone knows in the chat, also let me know, because yeah, when I'm like live, my brain like sometimes stops working.
Yeah.
Like everything gets foggy. But yeah, that is really helpful.
Also, another side note is that like long form content is really hard to make. Like long form content is really time consuming, but like short form is so much more accessible. You can film like literally with your phone camera.
That's
and
true.
There's editing softwares that you can use on your phone or like within apps. So I think Instagram is like a great place. There's a huge, which like is hilarious.
There's a great writing
as someone
community
with
there, too.
0 posts on my Instagram.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there's a huge writing community on Instagram as well that you can like connect with people.
Absolutely.
No, it's true. I don't think you have to be a creator of content to be a participant in AuthorTube, but to echo, the sentiments already discussed, I think it helps for people to be able to have an introduction to you as a person, as a writer, your project, etc. So even if you are like doing short form content on Instagram, or I know a lot of people have Substack pages where that's sort of their main arena for getting their art out there, and also for going through and navigating the challenges of drafting, like of having a written version of that instead of video, if video isn't something that you feel particularly drawn to creating. I think it really just depends on what you feel is realistic for you, for the level of effort that you're trying to put in, because like your people, I can say this a million times, but like your people will find you. It's a matter of time. It doesn't mean you have to create here on AuthorTube, although obviously it would be amazing. We'd love to have you to build a community, because I think community exists in so many different spaces, and there's lots of different ways to do it. So I don't think that this is the one size fits all answer to building a writing community, but it is a good one. So
yes,
up to
there are
you.
multiple paths for sure.
Correct.
Love it. Okay, this is a fun question. What do you like the most about your writing?
My dialogue is so bad. It's so bad. But
it's what you like, Amelia. She's like, I hate my dialogue. I love you. You're so funny.
What do you like? Well, I hate
my dialogue is garbage.
I feel that in my soul.
Everybody's first day on earth out here.
Sorry. But I will say that I do like my internal monologue. I think that that's something that I really like. I'm a really internal person. I'm actually I'm a really introverted. And I literally spend like my entire life in my house. So I spend most of my life in my head. And so I feel like that's a strength in my writing, is that I have done that a lot. And so I'm pretty good at it. But dialogue, she struggles for that same reason.
Yes.
Dialogue is hard. Dialogue is very hard. Sometimes it feels like pulling teeth. What do I like most of my writing? I like when I have found a way to hit a really precise emotion in a line of prose, whether it's like using an analogy or metaphor or something that I feel distills that emotion down to a really transferable turn of phrase for other people without it feeling like a cliche. I think that is really cool. Like I love when that happens in my writing. I also feel like for me, when I finally write a short sentence after writing too many compound complex sentences,
I love it.
Then I feel like, oh, maybe this is good. Maybe I know what I'm doing. And I'm not just like leaning on stuffing as many details into a single sentence as I possibly can. But yeah, I think like going back and reading writing that you thought was actual garbage is, and like being pleasantly surprised by the quality is also really cool, where you're like, oh, I was just being really mean to myself that day. It's actually not that bad. Or I actually like this turn of phrase like a lot more than I thought I was going to, now that I've given it the space to like let it marinate. But I think it really is like writing is kind of a time capsule too, where you'll go through and sometimes I'll remember like what I was working through personally when I'm reading certain lines of prose. So I think it's cool that writing can be kind of like a time capsule in that way. So it's, yeah, you're putting a lot of yourself into your writing, and sometimes you will like what you see and sometimes you will not. And I think that is probably my favorite part about the writing process and just like writing in general.
Yeah. Oh, that's so tough for me. I think, sorry, I'm taking a moment to think. I should have been thinking this whole time. I think, honestly, my line level prose, when I have the time to polish it and like take the time to really think it through, I usually am really happy with in the end. Like that's like the most satisfying thing, is when I come up with a really great turn of phrase or way to describe something that like hits the mark just right. It's really fresh. I just love pretty words, especially when they are successfully like in service of like the whole greater story. That's been tough because recently I have not been making a lot of pretty words because I am, as we discussed previously, more blocking out the scenes and chapters and that sort of thing. So I'm not like in my element right now in the same way. Although I will say, secondarily, I've been noticing myself in this last year getting so much better at story structure and having a much stronger intuition for pacing and like the way that things should go. Like I just feel like I just know it in my bones a little bit more. And I also notice it when I'm, say, watching a TV show or something. Like right now we're currently rewatching Stranger Things. And for every season, like every episode, I'm like seeing how they like wove the different storylines together. And
so cool.
I'm actually noticing like, oh, like this is this moment in the story structure. This is like, you know, I don't know, like this is like the midpoint twist, for example. You know, I'm like, oh, that's what that, like I'm just recognizing the beats and the stories more consciously, which I think has made me a better storyteller in my own book, which I think is really cool and something that I've really been enjoying. So
I love that.
Yes. Okay. Last question. Take a deep breath. This has been so fun. Okay.
Got this.
Is there a certain song that instantly gets you more in the headspace to write your story? For me, it's Adam 6 by Sleeping at Last. Less than 60 seconds, but it puts me in the mind of my character. I love Sleeping at Last. But that's so good. I love it. How about you guys?
Playlist.
I know, right? I can go first. I think, so I mainly listen to like classical music or movie scores, honestly, while I'm writing. So like any of those that are like on my list, those like usually enter me in to the right headspace. But specifically, one that people might actually know, specifically, sometimes it's hard to talk about those because people are like, what now? Hate to Be Lame by Lizzie McAlpine. That
So
is
good.
the
I
song.
love that song.
That is the song that I listen to when I'm trying to think about Vera and Cecil and their like romance, like the romantic subplot. Like that's their song, I think.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
My writing playlist is I can't listen to words while I'm writing, so it's all
Same.
just like classical pieces or like really dramatic movie soundtracks. Like the Interstellar soundtrack is always
Oh yeah.
and
Oh, that's
also
so
because
good
I'm
for
writing a space opera, it's just like
Mhm.
so obvious that would
Perfect.
be, you know, a part of my writing process. But I mean, honestly, I never listen to like regular music when I'm writing. But I do live for Sleep Token. Sleep Token is like my favorite, probably my favorite artist next to Ariana Grande, which is like, what's going on there? That's like two very
She
different
says never let them know
So
your next move.
Right.
Keep them guessing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sleep Token's recent album, Even in Arcadia, I think about my book a lot when I listen to that album. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Okay, I will do one for each of my projects. So for Project Spellbound, it's Witch Witch by Florence and the Machine. Just like immediately the atmospheric build in that song, I feel like mirrors the plot really well. So that's definitely that one. And then I like whenever I'm creating playlists for my stories, I'll usually have like one primary playlist that's like for the whole story. And then I'll also have ones for like any POV characters. So if I'm like writing from one person's perspective, there's like a group of songs that I only associate with that person. So I'll listen to those. And then I also have, if there's like a romantic arc or subplot or anything, like I'll put the songs that I associate with that thread. So I end up having a lot of playlists. Basically, this is me saying I have a lot of playlists.
We love a
But
playlist.
I think it's fun. We do love a playlist. So I'm just trying to find my like Stargazer playlist here. But there's like a couple songs for Stargazer, but really I think the most consistent one is Abstract Psychopomp by Hosier, which just like the build in that one, I think hits on a lot of the same feelings that like I feel when I'm writing it and that I hope eventually readers feel when they're in that world and that story. I think that like kind of ethereal, a little bit eerie, uncertain, a little anxiety inducing vibe is pretty on the nose for that project. So yeah, those two both like put me right back in the headspace, like muscle memory.
So good. Okay. Well, that was the questions. Take a breath.
We did it.
That was so fun. We got through them all. Although now that means that we've been live for over 2 hours now. So I do want to like, how are you guys feeling? Like, do you guys want to sprint or are you like, I gotta go?
I probably
I'm
have to
good.
go, but y'all should hang out and keep going.
I totally get it. Oh man, I'm so torn because like I want to finish my second draft right now because I wanted to do
But
it.
you guys are way later time zone than me, right?
Yeah, it's like 9:08 p.m. for me.
This is usually when I start writing, though, I'll be honest. So sprints, whether we do it on live or not, I will probably be sprinting tonight. So I'm good with whatever, but I'm happy to stick around, Joy, if you want to stay on the live, but up to you.
Oh, I am so torn. I think I'm starting to get a headache, which makes me sad. So I'm like, should I like stop and chill out for a little bit and then maybe do one more writing session later if my headache goes away? Or should I just push through and do it? I don't know. Sound off. Like, what do you guys
We could do like a 20-minute if you want.
I guess that's true. Maybe a 20-minute or like a 15.
60. Up to people though. If people are like,
yeah, let me know in the chat.
We've had enough. Then like,
yeah, are you guys wanting to tap out? Do you want to do like a short little 15-minute or 20-minute sprint or something? I'm honestly game for anything, but Amelia, we can let you go if you want to go now.
Yeah, I'll head out when you guys start your next sprint, but I have a sponsorship.
Oh,
so I have to edit.
Yes. Oh, the sponsorship deadline. But it's exciting.
And like when I edit, I need to be able to like headphones on, locked in.
Oh, yeah, fully locked
nothing
in.
else.
I totally get that.
100%.
Yep.
Yeah, Joy, I feel like you shouldn't push yourself. You should like
I know. I'm so bad. I don't treat myself well. Oh my gosh. I'm literally so torn. I'm literally so torn. Okay, let's just do 15 minutes. Let's just do 15
Okay.
minutes.
15
Because
sounds
honestly, I do think I don't know if I can finish the second draft in 15 minutes, but maybe. Like I'm close enough that I think that I could block out. Like it wouldn't be pretty, but I could block out the rest. I think.
I love that. I think that's a great idea. We'll just see. And again, like if
You
you
want to see?
feel better later, you can always revisit it. It's still the same day that you finished,
That is true.
ideally, finished the first or second draft, pardon me, on the 1-year anniversary of your AuthorTube channel. So
Yeah.
you got
Let's
time.
just do 15 minutes. Let's
Sounds
just do
good.
it. Let's just do it. All right, I have to pull up. There it is. Oh wait, no. Oh, ew. Not me. I was like, wait a minute.
Me, literally
obsessed.
me, bro.
There we go.
Oh my
You don't want to just look at me. And definitely not 30 minutes. Let's see if I can remember how to change this. I think it's over here. Just 15. Just 15. Because like my headache isn't bad yet. It's just like I feel it just beginning. You know what I mean? You know that feeling?
Is it when you're
Yeah.
like your face is like a little hot and you're like,
yes.
like-
Yeah. Like it's
Yeah.
just starting. And I'm like, but like I can still do this, you know? Like I will be fine. But also, I don't know if I did this right. There it is. Yeah. Good. I did it
Perfect.
correctly. Do you have any frozen peas? Put them back. Honestly, I will say, like for the first 2 minutes, I might run down and grab like a water or something. So should I make it 17 minutes instead of 15? Let's see.
Keep it
Okay,
every
also
weekend.
on the note of frozen peas, there's an episode in The Summer I Turned Pretty where Belly puts a bag of frozen peas on her hand or something and she leaves them on her nightstand all night long.
What?
Like it's
terrible.
so disgusting.
RIP to those peas.
Ew. I don't like that.
Gross. Red flag.
Yeah. Okay. Also, Bumblebee. I just want to say I recently moved to a new city, so I don't have any friends. Hanging out with everyone here is like writing with friends again. So I'm grateful.
Aw.
We're grateful for you, and thank you
Good
so
for
much
you for moving to a new
so
city.
much. Yeah, honestly, that's a
That's
big
so
move.
cool.
Yeah. But okay. All right. Let's lock in.
Lock in.
Amelia, thank you so much.
Yes,
That
this is so
was
fun.
It was
And I'm
great
so
talking with you, Amelia.
happy that you're on AuthorTube, Joy, and
Aw.
we love you. And
I'm happy
we're
you're
so
on
like you're an integral part of this community.
Girl,
Absolutely.
Thank you for being
you
here.
know? I'm not gonna cry. It's fine. Okay.
I
well-
literally think I'm having a dermatitis breakout on my ear, guys.
Oh no.
Oh
I'm
no.
like sitting here feeling it. I'm like,
We're falling apart.
All right,
Just live
that's
to
my
the end,
sign.
hopefully.
All right.
All right.
Good luck,
night.
everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Have a good
Amelia.
sprint.
We're gonna
Bye.
start a sprint. Okay. And I'm gonna run down and yeah. All right.
Sounds good.
Good luck.
Good luck, everybody.
Hello.
Hello. That went so fast.
It did go so fast. Oh my goodness.
How are you feeling?
So
I don't know.
I was flying. I got 566 words of like pure, like blocking.
Yes, like stream of consciousness, just like in
Stream of consciousness, just trying to get the sequence of events down. But in my mind, like that's as much as I can really do at the end of the book right now, because I feel like in order to be fully keyed into my character's like internal spaces and that sort of thing, like I need to have like gone through and polished the whole book up into this point to like actually do the climax justice, But I was getting the sequence down. And I think I might be done.
That's exciting.
I might just be ready to be done. Like, I think I have enough down of the ending that I think, I don't know. Do I want to announce that the second draft is done, or do I feel like I need to look through it more? But like, I've already accepted that the ending right now is not going to be polished because it's not ready to be. I feel like I need to film this momentous occasion. Hang on.
Yeah, honestly, do it.
And just hit like the play button on my camera, because I might be done with the second draft. Hang on. Hold, please. I have to like adjust my tripod.
Always me. I will always kick it too while it's recording, and then I have to deal with.
Yep. Oh gosh. Hang on. 1 second.
All good.
Okay.
I just had a plot realization as well.
This is like significant enough that I should probably capture it on my vlog.
Yes, I'd say. I think it's a great plan.
Yeah. So I think that the second draft is done. Question mark. Hang on. What's my final word count right now? Because like this again, the second half of the book is very underwritten. I mean, not all of it, but there are some patches where I'm like, I know I'm gonna have to go through and add another scene here, but I've sort of bracketed it where I'm like, this is what's gonna happen, but I'm not ready to write it yet. That will be a third draft problem.
Yeah.
But right now, my current word count, and I guess my ending word count for draft 2, if I decide to actually do that, is 101,625 words.
That's incredible. Congratulations, Joy. That's insane.
Yeah, I'm just ready to be done with the second draft. And I have everything up to the end blocked out now. So like, what's stopping me? You know?
I think that's such a good point too, which, not to like go off on a tangent as well, but I feel like calling a draft finished, there's something really powerful in it, because only you can decide when it's done. And as long as it served the purpose that you need that draft to serve, it's totally fine to be like, and we're finished. Yep. And anything else, we will fix it in post. We will fix it in draft 3. That's definitely a really, I think, healthy way of looking at your drafts too, and to be able to have something to look forward to in draft 3, because I think part of the trouble of revisions, as I'm understanding it from other people, because I haven't been in it myself, is that it feels like a bit of a slog, because you're just going through and fine tuning and like making everything you've already created better. But really, when you go about it and you like leaf brackets for yourself, you still get to have a little bit of the fun creativity of drafting, even as you're in that stage of like polishing it up and tightening your prose. So that's so cool. A huge accomplishment. Yeah. Congratulations. So proud of you. I'm sure it's incredible.
And my main goal with the second draft was to have the plot down, and that's what I've done. So I'm like, the ending is not polished, it's not pretty, but the plot is down, it's on paper. So okay, I'm just gonna
call it done.
I've been so ready to be done. So ready to like dive into draft 3 and like actually start polishing a little bit. Oh, it's such a relief.
That's incredible.
Also, thanks everyone for like all the congratulations. That's so encouraging. Oh, I'm really glad that I did this on stream, because like there's like nothing like celebrating like with other people.
It's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true. Well, honored to be here. Honored to be here on the day that you, number one, celebrated the first anniversary of your channel, and number two, that you finished the second draft. My goodness. December 17th is going to go down as a very, very big day.
Right? I need to like.
So proud.
Yep. Okay. And you said you couldn't do it in 15 minutes. I mean, I didn't think that I could, but then I just flew. I was like, you know what? We're just going to feverishly, because I only had like 2 more scenes that I basically just had to block out roughly to make sure I knew what was happening. But like, that's all I was going to do or felt ready to do for the second draft. So like, again, it's not pretty, but the second draft is doing what it needs to do. So that's good.
It's so exciting. It's so exciting too to like, be able to now have draft 3 to look forward to and like take a little time if you want.
So ready for draft 3.
Let it percolate and do whatever sort of structural stuff you want to do to set yourself up.
Oh my gosh.
I'm excited to reverse outline eventually. So that's super cool. Oh, I'm so happy for you.
Well, that's a great way to end the stream, honestly. Great highlight.
I will say, yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Oh my gosh. I like have the biggest smile on my face. Like my face is going to hurt.
As you should.
I'm smiling so much. Thank you for joining. Honestly, this was such a fun time. I know Amelia had to duck out a little bit early, but man, thank you so much for joining me too, Emily. And
oh my gosh, my absolute pleasure.
Yes.
Always an honor.
I love doing AuthorTube alongside you guys and writing alongside you guys. It's the best thing. So, so fun. Well, Emily, do you want to share where the people can find you?
Sure, I would love to. My name is Emily. If you are just jumping on the stream now, we are about to close it off. But my name is Emily. You can find me here on YouTube. My handle is Emily H. Thompson, and I also create writing vlogs. I don't do as much craft stuff, although that is something that I am like, should I do more craft stuff?
I think you should do it.
We'll see. We will see. But a lot of writing vlogs, a lot of just sort of chats about my projects and things like that. Balancing, being a writer, but then also working a full-time job, which is like the majority of my content. I'm on a creative sabbatical right now I'm in my last month of it. So we'll be back to the 9-to-5 grind very, very soon. Too soon, if you ask me. But you can also find me over on Instagram, Emily Thompson Writes. I will post a lot of like fun visuals about my projects over there, including a lot of like collage type things, product as objects, etc. So if you like a fun little visual thing, you can also find me over there. But thank you so much, Joy, for having me. It's been an honor. It's always so much fun to stream with you. I feel like we are very similar in a lot of ways, but also there's so much unique insight that I think really we help each other really well, which is so great. Yes, it's an honor to be alongside you here on AuthorTube, and knowing you finished your draft is like so encouraging. I am definitely going to keep writing tonight. So if you want to sprint later, you let me know. But this has been so fun. So thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. I might go down and get like ice cream or something because we do have some ice cream in the fridge.
Celebrate, as you should.
Have a little celebration. Maybe pull out a birthday candle. I don't know.
Yes, no, you should. Absolutely, you should.
I feel like I don't always do a good job at celebrating myself and my wins, so maybe I need to do that. But anyway, if you don't know me, I mean, this is on my channel, so I'm thinking chances are you probably know me, but like, you never know. But my name is Joy, and the channel that you're on right now, I do lots of writing vlogs. I do a little bit of craft stuff. Actually, the most recent video I put up was a world building writing craft chat where I was just kind of sharing about my own world building process, answering some questions that you guys sent in. It's very much a conversation, not prescriptive writing advice, but just sharing experiences. Mainly do writing vlogs though, because I enjoy making them and just documenting the process. I do also have an Instagram, which is also Write with Joy, but with an extra Y because the other, my actual name was taken, which still makes me a little sad.
The worst. I hate that happens.
It's fine. And I don't post on there as often, although I do like to share similar things to what Emily shares about her story when I can. So, yep. Thank you so much, everyone. But we're going to close out right now. This was so fun. All right. Have a good night.
Bye, everybody. Happy writing later. Bye.